insult her intelligence.
Well, I have to do that. Well, I don't think she's a very bright person. I do feel that. I mean, I think that's right. I think I am a very bright person, and a lot of people say that. I don't think she's a very bright person. And you know what? Our country needs a very smart person, and I don't think she's a very smart person. So I'm not looking to, I don't consider that an insult. That's just a fact.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and I want to first let everyone know I'm working on some sort of hurricane support plan. I'm thinking maybe something for the pets, or I don't know. It's there's a lot of charities and stuff like that to go through. So I'm going to spend some time this afternoon trying to figure out how I can best donate my time and money later today. But as of right now, Kamala Harris is doing nothing, and she's being absolutely lit up for it, and you absolutely love to see it. Look, I hate that it's coming at the expense of these people that actually need help right now. My viewers, I'm sure, are in this area, probably not watching my videos right now because they don't have, well, anything. Internet, cell phone service, basic necessities. It sucks. And but this is the Biden-Harris regime. If North Carolina and these areas had identified as Ukraine or Israel, they probably would have sent them $100 billion by now. I mean, the Harris-Biden administration sent the National Guard over to the Middle East just the other day instead of having them there to support those in need. This is a natural disaster. It needs all hands on deck. This is where the government is supposed to help. Meanwhile, FEMA's saying it's about equity, not equality. So Trump went out there yesterday on a bit of a media, he went out to Georgia and he was doing interviews, and Kamala's getting absolutely wrecked. We're going to take a look at it here, some of the updates. Let's start with a funny clip. This one, he just says what he really thinks. That's why people like him. By the way, I'll be live streaming the debate tonight. JD Vance, Tim Horsewalls, both on Quartercast and on Rumble. So if you haven't yet, I'll leave them linked in the pinned comment below. I absolutely hope you'll tune in tonight and enjoy the mess with us. Here's Trump.
I insult her intelligence.
Well, I have to do that. Well, I don't think she's a very bright person. I do feel that. I mean, I think that's right. I think I am a very bright person, and a lot of people say that. I don't think she's a very bright person. And you know what? Our country needs a very smart person, and I don't think she's a very smart person. So I'm not looking to, I don't consider that an insult. That's just a fact.
I don't think that's an insult. It's just a fact. Then you have Trump claims Kamala Harris staged photo of hurricane briefing that sparked conspiracy theories on social media. You have to plug the cord in for the phone to work. Donald Trump has ridiculed President Kamala Harris for pretending to work on Hurricane Helene disaster relief in a photo posted on social media. Well, yeah, she was busy fundraising. I mean, you've got 30 days to the election. Shouldn't you have enough money by now? It's so wild to me. Shouldn't you have enough money by now? You would think you'd have enough money by now, but I guess she raised another $50 million over the weekend. It's funny when Kamala Harris accuses Trump of caring more about millionaires and billionaires, when that's everyone who's donating money to her, by the way. The Post even mentioned how she was coordinating with North Carolina's governor to help the state's recovery efforts after Hurricane Helene killed at least 30 in the Asheville area alone. I think the death total overall is nearly 150 right now, with hundreds more missing and billions in untold damage. At least 121 have passed in 6 states have been now attributed to the storm, a toll that climbed Monday as a clearer picture of the devastation inflicted on the area stretched from Florida's Gulf Coast northward to the Appalachian Mountains. In Virginia, however, Trump pointed out a glaring issue with the photo. You have to plug the cord in for the phone to work. Trump wrote on Truth Social, pointing out the headphone she's wearing isn't attached to the phone she's at her desk. Another fake stage photo for someone who has no clue what she's doing. However, the angle of the image doesn't provide a line of sight to the port in the VP's phone. I don't think it's actually plugged in, but do phones even have plugins for headphones at all anymore? I don't know about iPhones. I don't think there are any headphones I can plug into my Android. So I guess I don't know that answer. I thought all headphones now I thought they got rid of the headphone jack like 10 years ago, but maybe they go on the USB port. That could be possible, I suppose. The earphone's cord falls straight down, seeming into the VP's lap, and not onto the phone, on the table before her, meaning there could also be a second phone involved in the latest scandal. I mean, it was obviously staged. There's no question about it, right? There's no question that it was staged, and you can see stuff like this. She's getting cooked in the replies. I was just briefed by FEMA, Criswell, the latest developments. I also spoke with North Carolina Governor Cooper. You go through these replies, blank paper, headphones not plugged into anything. Literally nothing you do is real. Yeah, I mean, I stand by that. People in there, I cannot believe my own eyes. Kamala Harris is pretending to write on a piece of paper and is pretending to listen to a call from FEMA. Yeah, again, like, what would you think is going on there? You know what I mean? Are you going to give them as much as you give in Ukraine? All that kind of stuff. Another fake stage photo from someone who has no clue what she's doing. You have to plug the cord into the phone for it to work. Biden and Harris abandoned Americans in Afghanistan. True. They sacrificed Americans to an open border. True. Now they have left Americans who drown in North Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, Alabama, and elsewhere in the South. Under this administration, Americans always come last because we have, quote, leaders who have no idea how to lead. That got 263,000 likes to Kamala Harris's 50,000 likes. Again, a lot of this stuff is absolutely, the popularity is just fake. I talked about it yesterday in Kamala Harris's podcast interview. Barely 100,000 views. Trump does them and it gets millions of views. The popularity of Kamala Harris is vastly inflated. Only thing genuine about this woman's entire career, and is how she started it off. That was real. Being a whore, I imagine that was. If she's going to pose like this, make sure it actually looks real. Meanwhile, Donald Trump has now authorized a GoFundMe that has raised I just raised $100,000 in 10 minutes. $2.1 million to help the hurricane victims. I suspect the number they will actually need will be in the billions, which is why it's just one man. It's hard for me to pick out what I'm going to do to try and help them, to mobilize my viewers. I don't know. It's just such a huge, elephant to eat. I suppose you do it one bite at a time. Here you have even more embarrassing footage. Just saying, Kamala Harris just proved with her staged FEMA briefing on Hurricane Helene that her presidency would be just 4 more years of the same.
Madam Vice President.
Doesn't take a single question. Meanwhile, Donald Trump, quite frankly, Donald Trump is the acting president. He's the acting president. He's on the ground. He's interviewing people. He's bringing tanker trucks full of gasoline and supplies. I'm sure, yes, is it a marketing stunt or a PR stunt? Yeah, but do you think the people that need the gasoline care, or that need the food or toilet paper or clothing or baby formula or cleaning supplies, do you think they care that it's a PR stunt? No. Donald Trump is there with the stuff. Kamala Harris look at her face. She's just tired. Refusing to take answers. Typical Kamala Harris. She's above being asked unscripted questions. She looks like she doesn't even want to be there. Another 4 years of a president dodging questions would signal the end for us. Here you see Trump is on the ground in Georgia receiving disaster relief briefings from the military. Kamala isn't asking questions. Biden is taking a nap. Who do the American people turn to when they need real leadership? Donald Trump, right? Register a friend to vote, by the way. I mean, you have military personnel reporting to Donald Trump, right? He's not even the sitting president. Kamala Harris is out there doing fundraising. Here you have one of Kamala Harris's biggest fans turning on them. One of Kamala's biggest fans, that's the fraud Charlemagne the God, who's just anti-white, admitted that Trump's made a genius move by launching an ad in the middle of college football games exposing Kamala Harris for supporting trans surgeries for prisoners and illegal migrants. I don't want my taxpayer dollars going for that. That ad was effective.
That ad they was running during the football games this weekend claiming the vice president supports funding gender transition surgeries for all prison inmates and migrants in the U.S. That was nuts. I don't know if it was.
I wouldn't say nuts, but that was crazy.
That was funny.
I don't know if it was the backdrop of football, but when you hear the narrator say Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners, that one line, I was like, hell no, I don't want my taxpayer dollars going to that.
I definitely see that she did.
That ad was effective.
Kamala supports taxpayer-funded sex changes for prisoners.
Surgery.
She does.
For prisoners.
For prisoners. Every transgender inmate in the prison system would have access.
It's hard to believe.
Kamala took a picture with a transgender. It was this what they were saying, that it made it seem like Kamala supports transgender sex changes in jail with our money. That's what it came across.
Yeah,
Isn't that what they're saying?
It literally said that Kamala.
That's what Kamala supports. It didn't make it seem that way. That's what happens. Here's another thing. Millions of people don't have power. Entire towns are destroyed. Over 120 people we've lost. I'm sure that number will be close to 500 by the time it's said and done. And Kamala Harris just took 0 questions at FEMA headquarters. This is not presidential material.
Thank you.
No questions. Imagine clapping for that. If you're working at FEMA headquarters right now, are you voting for this? By the way, group of migrant workers busted for looting flooded buildings in devastating aftermath of Helene. A group of migrants have been accused of looting properties in flooded parts of Tennessee after Storm Helene tore through the southern state. Deputies with Washington County Sheriff's Office arrested 8 men on Saturday. Police say the men looted structures in one of the country's flooded zones. Jesus, Leoden, I'm not going to go through all their names. All migrants. All migrants looting from the people who lost everything. Women and children are just crossing the border, right? Now, I'm glad they were arrested. I'm glad that they were arrested. But, I mean, this is what you would get 4 years of if you vote for Kamala Harris. The whole world is watching, and she's an absolute joke. I hope you're informed by this video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do make sure you leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe or follow down below. If you made it this far, my live streaming channels are linked in the description and the pinned comment. Please do follow them, especially for tonight's JD Vance, Tim Horsewall's live stream, which I believe will start, I think at 9 or 8:30 Eastern. I believe the whole thing starts at 9 Eastern, so I'll ramp up about a half hour before. What a wild day.